Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with here today with an article from the Washington Free Beacon. This is dated April 17th, and this is how stupid our discourse around the Israel-Palestine or Israel-Gaza or Israel-Hamas conflict has become. It says Columbia students claim they were sprayed with an Israeli chemical weapon. It was actually fart spray purchased on Amazon, new lawsuit says. So these jackasses here that are protesting, especially the Columbia people who have just decided that they're going to go full terrorism supporter, have just, I just read this for the first time, or saw this for the first time, was like, you guys really think that there's is like the Mossad or something is there that are spraying you with chemical weapons? Are you stupid? I mean, that's a legit question. I mean, it's a rhetorical question too, but let's see what this says, because this could be incredibly dumb. It says chemical weapons are typically associated with Middle Eastern war zones, not Ivy League colleges. So when one of them was allegedly deployed at Columbia University, it ignited a media frenzy because, yeah. So pro-Palestinians told the Columbia Spectator that they had been sprayed with skunk, a crowd control chemical developed by the Israeli Defense Forces, at a rally in January. Mainstream media amplified the allegations, and Columbia suspended a student involved in the attack, in scare quotes, who had previously served in the IDF, within days. Well, that seems pretty quick. I mean, but we know colleges are just more or less like, oh, you said someone said that you did something, we're not even going to require proof, just you're suspended. Okay. And I don't remember hearing about this at all in the news until I saw this just a couple days ago from when I'm recording it. So I didn't know about anything here. It says the narrative was a progressive fever dream. At one of the best universities in the country, an Israeli student had deployed chemical weapons against peaceful student protesters for challenging the alleged depredations of the Jewish state. Columbia president, I'm going to butcher this name, Minouche Shafik, repeated this claim at a meeting of the university senate. Demonstrators, she said, were sprayed with a toxic chemical. It now appears that the toxic chemical was a harmless fart spray purchased on Amazon for $26.11. Yep, again, this is how stupid things have become. According to a lawsuit filed against Columbia on Tuesday, the suspended student had in fact dispersed liquid ass, that's a wonderful name for it, a gag gift for adults and kids per its product description, at an unsanctioned pro-Palestinian rally. He sprayed the substance in the air, not at any particular individual, in what the lawsuit describes as a harmless expression of speech. I don't know if that's necessarily a harmless expression of speech, just because, the way I stand on free speech is that you can say and do whatever you want, but once your free speech starts infringing on my rights, then it's not free speech anymore, and this I feel like that is infringing on somebody else's rights. You can't, even if you're spraying something in the air and not at somebody, that could still affect people. So I'm not sure I necessarily agree with the categorization of harmless expression of speech. But anyway, let's keep going. It says the result was a swift suspension for which the student is now suing, alleging that the university rushed to silence plaintiff and brand him as a criminal through biased misconduct proceedings, which it's a college, and if you're on the wrong side of something, yeah, it probably is going to be biased. This Columbia claimed in January that the incident was possibly a hate crime. Come on, really? No. It says Tuesday's lawsuit undercut that claim, and the media narrative built around it less than 24 hours before Shafik was set to testify before Congress about Columbia's response to anti-Semitism, which surged at Columbia after the October 7th terrorist attacks. And what was I going to say here? So I think we could probably debunk this as another media hoax then. I should get John Nolte from Breitbart to add this to his list of media hoaxes in the last, 8 years or so. And it's probably up to close to 30 at this point, which is a ridiculous amount. As the university has seen a raft of protests, many of them held in violation of university rules, where students promoted the attacks and chanted slogans like Intifada and Glory to our martyrs. One unsanctioned event, Resistance 101, featured speakers from Israeli-designated terror groups and praised for plane hijackings, which Khaled Barakat, a member of the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, described as an important tactic of the Palestinian resistance. It's not resistance to kill innocent people and to hijack planes and stuff, but your brain is addled, so that's why you think that. Those 4 students were suspended over the event, video of which was removed from YouTube for violating the platform's anti-terrorism rules. One student, Aiden Parisi, refused to leave campus, barricading himself in his dorm and pledging to resist the suspension just as the Palestinians have resisted occupation. Well, funny, Aiden, that you say that. Who's occupying them? If you're going to say Israelis, well, you're wrong. You can't be at like I've said this before, you cannot physically be occupying a place you're not even at and haven't been at in close to 20 years. But you're a college student, so you're dumb. There you go. His punishment was irregular. For the most part, Colombia has not disciplined students who have held unsanctioned protests, including one in November that disrupted law school classes for nearly 3 hours. Administrators refused to shut down the protest because, as one of them put it, doing so could make pro-Palestinian students feel unsafe. Yes, that's what we got to worry about, is the safety of everybody. And just, like, yes, we're going to have them chanting death slogans about certain groups of people, but if we tell them to stop doing it, they're the ones that are going to feel unsafe. You absolute freaking clowns. Says the lawsuit alleges that Colombia failed to protect the plaintiff from anti-Semitic harassment as he underwent a rigged disciplinary process that presumed him guilty from the start because of his affiliation with Israel. Non-Israeli students at the rally were not disciplined in any manner, the complaint states, even though the university hadn't approved the event. Yeah, this sounds like kind of like the J6 versus BLM riots in 2020 sort of thing. Like, you're on the wrong side, you're going to get the book thrown at you. You're on the right side, absolutely nothing's going to happen. Does Colombia decline to comment? Of course they did, because what are they going to say about it? Yeah, we effed this one up. We totally rigged this against this guy. It says this is the second time this year Colombia has been sued for anti-Semitic discrimination. In February, the Stand With Us Center for Legal Justice filed a lawsuit against Colombia and Bernard, alleging that Jewish students had been assaulted, spit on, threatened, and treated unequally, in part due to the school's failure to enforce their own policies. I don't doubt that for a second. Similar complaints have been filed against Middlebury, MIT, and Harvard University. Massachusetts and northeast of the country, you guys got yourselves a problem. So it says similar complaints have been filed against the place I just mentioned, both in federal court and with the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Civil Rights. The lawfare comes as a congressional committee is holding hearings on anti-Semitism and pressing schools to provide documentation of their response to it, an effort that helped end the careers of two former Ivy League presidents, Claudine Gay of Harvard and Liz McGill of the University of Pennsylvania, who resigned following their poor performance at the first of those hearings. At the hearing with Shafiq, Democratic lawmakers grilled Colombia's president about the alleged chemical attack. It appears to have been an odorous substance that was sprayed on demonstrators, Shafiq said in response to a question from Jamal Bowman. The individuals involved have been suspended from Colombia. Okay, so of course Jamal Bowman, who is an anti-Semite, is not going to be like, oh wait, you mean it was all a bunch of BS? Of course he's not going to say that because he's a jackass. Anyway, I just wanted to mention this because of how stupid things have become, that it's like, okay, someone had fart spray in the air and you guys think that it's a chemical weapon and you suspend the student for basically nothing. Yeah, so that's how things are. So I hope the student wins this, and it seems like, to me at least, it would be kind of a slam dunk sort of thing that he should win. That I think his civil, at least to me, this feels like his civil rights were violated. He didn't get a fair trial, and, well, that's kind of the way things are these days, unfortunately. But let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Do you think things have gotten really stupid around this issue? But let me know. I'd like to hear from you. Like, share, subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.